I'm Bobby Lee from Square. This tutorial is an overview of our Team API. The Team API automates team member management functions, including creating new team members, updating team member properties, assigning wage settings, and deactivating team members. So I'm going to teach you how to create and search for a team member for a certain location, assign a job title and wage, and deactivate a team member. We'll start by simply creating a new team member with their name and email. So I'm in the API Explorer, and make sure you're in Sandbox mode here. Then set your API to team and the create team member endpoint. Set your access token to the app you'd like to test, generate an item potency key, click add team member, set their email to lucy@example.com, family name May, and give a name to Lucy. Now run the request and copy the team member ID for a later example. Now I'm going to show you how you can limit a team member's access to a defined set of seller locations by setting the request assigned locations assignment type variable. So back in the Explorer, let's create a new team member again. So let's clear this out and keep the same endpoint. Leave the same access token, regenerate an item potency key, click add team member, then add assigned locations. As you can see here, I can set it to either all current and future locations or explicit locations. If you want this new team member to have access to all of their sellers' locations, set the assignment type to all current and future locations, and leave the location IDs field blank. If you only want to give them access to one or two locations, you would just state those location IDs here. I would like to give this new team member access to a specific location. So I'm going to set the assignment type to explicit locations, and in the location ID dropdown, I'm going to select only Minnesota. Now set the email address to miles@example.com, family name Hart, and given name Miles, and run the request. Awesome, 200 response. As you can see, Miles has been assigned to only be a team member at the Minnesota business location at this time. Before moving on, while you've got that location ID in your clipboard, I just want to show you how to find team members via location ID. So back in the Explorer, set the endpoint to search team members, and click add to query and paste in that location ID. Run the request, and as you can see, here is the team member Miles we just created. Okay, now on to another example. I want to show you how to assign a job title and wage to a team member. So we'll start by updating the first team member we made's job assignment. So back in the Explorer, I'll set the endpoint to update wage setting. The update wage setting endpoint is used to assign and update job titles and wages for each team member. So to start, I'll paste in Lucy's team member ID and then add wage setting and set overtime exempt to true, then add job assignments, set the job title to manager, pay type to salary, and now set the annual rate to 60,000, which is 6 million in cents. Set the currency to USD, skip the hourly rate, and lastly, just set the weekly hours to 40, and run the request. Cool, so let's open this up, and as you can see, we've successfully updated this team member to be a manager making $60,000 base salary in the US. Okay, now the last thing I want to go over is how to deactivate a team member. So back in the Explorer, to keep things simple, let's deactivate the manager. Set the endpoint to update team member, paste in their ID, and set their status to inactive, and run the request. And as you can see, they're no longer an active team member in this location. Pretty simple. So there you have it. We just went over a few different ways of working with the Team API. First, how to create and search for a team member for a certain location. Then, how to assign job titles and wages. And lastly, how to deactivate a team member. If you have any further questions, let us know in the comments. Happy coding!